feet aren't food. I hope you realize that. These greens are only like, I don't know, 12 hours old. Jesus Christ, Bertha. Here at the base of the tail, you see that's indented. That tells me that the animal's actually taking the fat storages from their tail. And this is when work pays off, man. Just able to stroke this guy's chin, make him feel loved. It's just an incredible feeling, man. Well, boys and girls, you know it's gonna be a fun day when we make our way up into the reptile building. This is where we're gonna...
Oh god, what if evil Dakota's still up there? And then I'll be his next meal, and then I won't even be able to do YouTube videos anymore.
Wait a minute, no, that was just a skit I did. The evil Dakota's not real. By the way, I just want to address it. No, I did not pull a Kyle and start punching holes in the walls. What happened was I moved heavy enclosures without emptying the substrate, and they just slam on in there. So you didn't see, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. It was the enclosure's fault, I promise. Come on. And it's just that easy, folks. Who's out and about? It's the Quince monitor. Honestly, guys, oh my god. Honestly, guys, I really do hate this reed fencing. I'm gonna make a video about it probably in a couple of days. This thing is off. Look how humid it is in there, dude. They already condensated the lens. I really dislike this reed fencing just because of this fact. Like, I mean, you can barely see this animal. It's not working out. Oh, hey, here's the other one. Guys, honestly, I'm just not too stoked about the reed fencing. It's a cool idea. I mean, it looks nice in there. However, I just never see the Quince monitors anymore, and it's just kind of annoying. Like, yeah, the enclosure looks a little bit prettier, but if you never see your animal, what's honestly the point? Boys and girls, I guess it's time we finally get into this. Now, I knew this day was going to come eventually, right? There's no way that these things could just hold any old animal. I mean, I've been using it for five-foot lizards. They had to break through it eventually. So as much as it is a pain for me to admit my defeat, I finally have to do it, and that's going to be for the simple well. Oh, God. Oh no, keep going. I would love to hear this story. Tell us that the stupid, disgusting, gross grow tents finally led to your animals escaping. It's time to admit defeat. Okay, fine, I'll admit it. An animal got out of the grow tent. I knew the reptile Facebook experts were right. These things are nothing but grotesque monstrosities, and you are an abuser for using them. Look at how your animal got out. It could have gotten hurt. Just hang on. Give me 1 second. Let me explain. Facts are true here, boys and girls. Big Bertha did get out of the grow tent. I made a couple Instagram reels about it. I thought the first time was a mishap, but then she did it a second time. And that's the fact when I knew that, okay, so there's something wrong in here. And so let's find out what that issue really was. We just step on in here. Oh, well, hey there, Blue. You know, feet aren't food. I hope you realize that. Humid in here. I got Blue just right on my feet trying to bite me. Fantastic, fantastic day. So as you can see right here, we did have a breakout. I've been holding it with this cinder block, and so the first time I noticed it, I saw just what looked like a small tear, right? So I put the cinder block right here. However, the cinder block didn't work because Big Bertha, who's right over there, got out again, unfortunately. Now I want everyone to keep this in mind before we keep going. Keep going with this thing. Now I don't believe grow tents are bad. I use grow tents quite frequently. You can see I have a lot of grow tents over there, and the fact of the matter is, it's not like Bertha and Blue clawed out of the enclosure and broke it. The fact of the matter is, this enclosure is actually already broken. I almost forgot about it. Remember, this grow tent, this is the OG grow tent. This is the first grow tent I ever got with putting reptiles in it. Starting with Hobbs, the baby Tegu. Now, what happened here was when we ended up moving this from my house over to this building, we did end up ripping it, but I put some tape on it and a big rock in front of it. And I thought that would do the trick, and honestly, it did do the trick for literally years, until one day we put this Tegu pair in here, and at that point, one of them got smart enough to realize that there's a hole in there, and they ripped it open. So we did get a little patch up. You can see the full video over on Patreon. We showed the Patreon crew like that. We got a little patch kit. I stapled it in. We actually have a piece of wood against it, so it's stapled right into the wood, and there's absolutely no way they can break out now. What are you doing, Blue? What are you doing? You a little camera shy? Yeah, show the viewers that pretty face of yours. Look at those teeth, man. I don't know if you can see the teeth, but they got some pretty sharp teeth, man. The Tegus are back in their home. However, we did get one break-in that was partially my fault because I didn't repair the tent when I should have immediately. Instead, I put some tape on it and I put a rock and I called it a day. While I'm in here, I'll give a quick Tegu update. Apparently, the Tegus do not like collard greens. Bertha also still does not like me. By the way, isn't it crazy? These greens are only like, I don't know, 12 hours old. Jesus Christ, Bertha. Jesus, how am I supposed to get these greens? People wonder, people ask me, Dakota, why do you keep the plates in there for so long? This is exactly why. I physically cannot get the plates. The Tegus are guarding it, and I don't know what to do. By the way, folks, we do have lights. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened with this one, but it seemed to get knocked off for somehow, and it fell. Now, luckily, the bulb broke, and so it didn't start a fire, because that would have really sucked. However, so we do have this bulb out. Luckily, we got CHE going on in this one, so they are with heat. I have to figure out what happened with this bulb, and what happened with the dome, and then change out the bulb for these guys. However, the CHE does get pretty hot. You saw earlier, this is where they were standing, and they do like the nice heat, and so the reptiles have heat. It's not like there's no basking. I mean, I guess there's no basking lights, but there is heat for them. Let's do this. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Come on, Bertha. I'm just trying to pick up after you. Oh my god, she's just right in the middle of it. What am I supposed to do here? The way, folks, take a look at how Bertha, she's looking pretty full with eggs right now. Look at that little belly. Look at that big old belly. Now, although she does look like a small Tegu, you can see she's puffing out, so she's like... But although Bertha does look like a small Tegu, she is an old Tegu. We've had her for, I believe, a year, 2 years now, and she came in at a pretty good size, so I base her age somewhere around 3 years. The fact of the matter is, with these Florida imported Tegus, they tend to stay a little bit small. I was talking with my friend Alex over at Alex. Don't eat my butt. No, it's meaty, but still. What you doing over here, Blue? Oh, boy, what you doing over here? Yeah, that's a good boy. Blue's pretty good. I can pet Blue, and he doesn't really do much with me. He doesn't try to bite. I don't know. He just gets a little food motivated, and then he just kind of charges me. But he's still pretty good. We can touch him all over, and he doesn't do nothing about it. He's a good boy. Bertha, on the other hand, not so much. All right, Blue. We'll see you later. Such grace. I'm not sure how to get these pieces, so I think we'll just take the plates for right now, and later on I will go and get the rest. But that's why there's sometimes plates in here, folks. It's because these animals are highly food motivated, and sometimes they try to eat me when I try to take their plates. But it's all good because I love each and every one of them. Yes, Bertha's starting to look pretty full with eggs, which is a very exciting thing. Our first year producing Tegus. I mean, just look at that belly. She got a belly full of eggs right there, I'll tell you what, boys and girls. So we should have Tegu eggs. Actually, I'm going to Home Depot here pretty early, actually probably after this video. We're getting more substrate, some hay for to lay on. We'll be removing Blue, and we'll actually be getting substrate for everyone. Everyone needs a little substrate. At that point, I'll also get some other bulbs, because my god, these bulbs just burn out so fast. Oh, big 6-pack of nice bulbs. Let's see. Oh, nothing in there. This one's broken. Very nice. By the way, folks, I know it's a little bit dirty in here. That's okay. The light just went out. I know it's a little bit dirty in here. We have been refreshing the place, completely changing around. The issue is we've bought now big monitors, and my animals that have been here are now getting larger. So when I like to do the free roaming thing, letting them run around everywhere, the issue is they can climb over stuff like this one right over here. They can actually climb right over this thing. So I am trying to reorganize the whole thing. I want the free ranging room back so I can open enclosures, let Bimpson and the Arguses and the Tegus out and explore, and not fear them getting out and running around to where I bop my head on these pillars right here while trying to get them. But speaking of eggs, we have more exciting stuff to talk about. Gander over here. Let me open this bad boy up for you guys. You guys get a nice look. Oh my god. You guys get a nice look at our female Argus monitor, and just look at that belly. She is looking pretty full with eggs, if I say so myself. She's been full like this for a while now. A pretty good chance to tell if a female Argus monitor, really any monitor lizard, is cycling with eggs is the fact that their belly looks full. And also, if you look closely right here at the base of the tail, you see that's indented. That tells me that the animal is actually taking the fat storages from their tail and making follicles, or growing their follicles into eggs. I'm sorry, that's a young man. Real funny thing about this is the fact that this Argus monitor was never paired. I always felt she was too small. This actually was the one that I believed was a male, but actually cycled for me and laid me eggs, so now I know it's a female. So she has cycled. This is her second cycle now, and I'm kind of hoping that she does lay another clutch. So its last clutch she laid was actually parthogenic. It was a parthogenic clutch, so they were fertile. Unfortunately, I did not incubate them right, and they failed around 2 to 3 weeks after incubating. Honestly, we might be able to get some Partho eggs of 2022 with Argus monitors. I do have the larger one that has not cycled for me once. I've had it for 2 years now, and she has yet to cycle for me, which is kind of disappointing, but I do believe once we get Bimpson into a larger enclosure, I'm going to pair the larger one with her, while this girl lays, or either lays or reabsorbs her follicles. I'll get her a little bit bigger, and then pair her eventually later with Bimpson as well. Moral of the story here is finger crossed, we could get a Partho clutch from this gal, we could get a clutch of eggs from Lilith, our other Argus monitor, and then we could also pair with this girl, maybe getting a second round of eggs going for the year, and also get another clutch, which means plenty of Argus monitors to sell to people. Except for one. I am keeping one, and I'm gonna call it Bimpson Jr. We do need my first Argus monitor clutch from Bimpson. I definitely need to keep. Of course, and as always, folks, of course, it wouldn't be a Reptile Room video if we did not show the man himself. Here is the Bimpson. Let's just walk on in here. He's going to be a little huffy when I enter his home. He doesn't like it too much. Oh, maybe he won't be huffy. Wow, we've really tamed this animal down. I know I don't show Bimpson off too much right now on the channel, and that's simply because of the fact that I hate Bimpson's enclosure. We're only using a 5x5x6 right now, which yes is 25 square foot of space for an animal that is only that 4.5 to 5 foot range. However, the thing is, I want better for Bimpson, and I don't want to show off an enclosure like this when people think it's okay. I mean, just using cinder blocks as a basking area, it looks cheap. I hate it. I just don't like showing it off. As you guys know, YouTube ad revenue has not been that great for me. We took a huge cut for a few months, and we've been hurting really badly, so I actually am evidently going to be selling some of my own stuff. We do have some rack systems for sale. Hit me up on Facebook if you're local to the area and want to buy some rack systems that I have from last year. Selling some musical equipment, really anything to make sure that I can get this man into an enclosure he deserves. So if I gotta sell some of my personal possessions to make sure my animals are rightly cared for, I'm going to do that, because that's what it takes when you keep animals like this. I don't want to keep them subparly. This enclosure just isn't big enough for them. I want bigger enclosures. I want to be able to breed these guys, and we're not going to be breeding monitors in a 5x5. It's just not it. As you guys can see, Bimpson has tamed down really well. I have yet to hear a huff or a puff from him, and we can actually do this. Check this out, guys. This is absolutely amazing. It's okay. Look at that, folks. A full adult male Argus monitor. One of the worst stereotyped animal for being aggressive, huffing and puffing, and just a jerk, and we are here able to pet it on its throat without much fight back. Now, we've been working really hard with adjusting Bimpson, taming him down, and making sure that he feels comfortable. And this is when work pays off, man. Just able to stroke this guy's chin, make him feel loved. It's just an incredible feeling, man. Folks, no huffing, no puffing whatsoever. There was a little bit at the beginning, but you can see we can just come on in. He checks us out. Oh, he's a little fed up with it. He's a little fed up. But again, no huffing and puffing, just trying to move away because he doesn't really enjoy it as much. Folks can see an absolutely incredible monitor. We've been working really hard over here at DBCB Exotics, making sure Bimpson is as tame as we can get him. We don't want any accidents happening, any bites, anything like that. So we've made sure we've showed him that hands are not food, but food is food. And also, we can be a little nice with him. We can give him little scratches like this, and he doesn't really mind too much. He's gonna come over and investigate us now. Oh, what's going on there? What's going on with that tail, mister? You getting a little upset? I think the main thing I've really found with Bimpson is the fact that he hates the camera. He hates when the camera's on him. He does not like... Well... Absolutely awesome, man. I'll tell you, I don't know if it picks up on camera or not, but there really is no better feeling than watching this monitor just be completely chill with you. After working with my females for a year, growing them up as babies and how hissy and much of an attitude they have, it is absolutely fantastic getting a full adult male monitor like this one right here, and just having him understanding you, forming a bond like that and a relationship with that animal where it no longer fears you, but actually is almost curious about you. He's crawling all around me, under my shoes, everything like that. He just wants to explore, man, and it's just so cool. I don't think I can even put it into words what an amazing experience it is. To worry, Bimpson, while you have a small cage right now, it does not mean you well for very longer. This month we'll be getting him a bigger cage, and he will be chilling. Maybe that's too much chin scratches. Alright, bud, we'll let you enjoy the rest of your time. I actually have to get out through that door, so if you don't mind moving a little bit, we'd really appreciate that. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Oop, just gotta get through. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me. He's not too grumpy about it. There you have it, folks. Some exciting updates on things that we don't really talk about much on the channel these days. We've got the Tegus that broke out, but they're inside and it's fixed and everything's all good. We got Argus Monitor that might be Partho with some eggs, and of course we got to check out my main man, Bimpson. Later this week, I'll be finishing cleaning up and organizing this place where we'll be able to take Bimpson out and do some feedings with him, just out in this entire room. I know it's filthy. I'm not done. Please just don't berate me too hard in the comment section. But we'll be setting this up to where the animals can come out of their enclosures. We'll feed them. They'll be able to run around, get some mental and physical enrichment. It's going to be an amazing thing. I cannot wait for it. And then, of course, then later in the month, we'll be getting Bimpson a much larger enclosure, pretty much almost doubling the space that he's in right now. We're going to end up having to move these two grow tents that don't have anything in them for this new enclosure. It's probably going to span around there to about here, and at that point we'll actually be putting Blue over into this one until Bertha lays her eggs. A lot of moving parts over here. We're very excited, and of course I will keep you guys updated on the channel as we move forward. Well, folks, I guess it's that time again where old Dakota hits the dusty trail. I gotta go do reptile things in my reptile building, and I can't let you film that because that stuff's just boring. It doesn't make good videos. So as my Bimpson cult, you guys know, if you want to help support old Dakota on this dusty trail while I try to figure out why my YouTube money just took a giant dive on him, you can always find me on Patreon. I have the link right down in the description for you. Oh, and of course, if you want to check out more funny videos I got, I'll put them right there and right there for you. Well, I guess it's about time I hit the dusty trail like I've been saying. Until next time, I'll see you then, and goodbye.